Look who's back.
Oh, I look at her ass.
Don't worry, I got you yelling on camera. Hey all, I'm not gonna be out here talking for long because it's raining pretty hard and the water is coming in my face this way. It's so pretty outside though. I mean, pretty being relative, but I'm learning to enjoy the rain more. Can't really see it, but anyways, it's been an interesting week to say the least. Yeah, but I'm here, we're alive, we're moving, we're breathing, we have another opportunity to make things happen, and I feel like I have more drive now than ever to just keep on going, keep on pushing. Sometimes God closes doors and we don't understand why, and we just have to trust that whatever reason was for our best interest. Like I mentioned in my last video, it's all about trusting the timing of your life, trusting that opportunities come and go, and that's just life, and trusting that, you know, like I said, whatever doors are shut in front of you, they're supposed to be shut. And I learned this week that it's not my fight to knock down or try and knock down doors that God has shut. He shut them for a reason, and I am learning through this process to just absolutely 1000% rely on what He is doing and believe that what's happening right in front of me is like I said, for my best interest. I think some heavy fear can come along with doors shutting when you don't understand why, and you know, I'm learning throughout everything to acknowledge the fear that is there, because I think that's normal. I was actually watching Steve Harvey, his talk show, and he was talking to Tyra Banks, and he was telling her how much he really admired her. And they were actually talking about jumping out on faith and making moves even when you're afraid. And he was telling her how much he admired her. And he said, I admire your bravery. He said, not your fearlessness. He said, because no one's fearless. He said, sure, you do things and it may appear that way, but at the end of the day, when you're making a big move, there's always gonna be some sort of fear there. It's just a matter of whether or not you subscribe to it. He said, so I honor your bravery. He said, I don't want anybody to think that because we're up here doing this that we're fearless. He said, you know, when I get out here, there's some fear that tries to come over me every single time. And she was talking about the same thing in the moves that she was making with her business, and it just really inspired me, and it let me know that it's okay to feel that fear. It's just a matter of, like I said, not subscribing to it. I heard someone else say, you acknowledge the fear, you recognize that it's there, you even bring it along with you, because it's a part of that process of creating something from nothing. It's a part of it, but you do not let it ride shotgun, and you don't let it take the wheel. So it's not in control, but it's okay to acknowledge that it's there. And that's what I'm learning, to acknowledge that it's there, to honor it in the sense that I am not making room for it to come in, but I'm using it as fuel. So that's what I mean by honoring it, because every emotion that we have can be used for something. And if the fear is going to be there because we're all human, I might as well find a productive way to use it. And as long as it's not running my life, I'm okay with saying, yeah, that's scary. It's a scary idea to jump. It's a scary idea to take a huge leap of faith. It's a scary thought to be like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work. And that's okay, and I acknowledge that, but it's not in control of anything that I'm doing, and I'm not allowing it to direct any of my movements. This morning, Pastor said, when you're operating from a place of stress and worry, all of your decisions are from a place of stress and worry. Therefore, you don't have good decision-making skills at that point in time, because you're coming from a place of stress and worry. So nothing is coming from a place of trust. Nothing is coming from a place of hope or belief. It's all coming from a place of, I'm worried, I'm stressed. So you're making irrational decisions, and that's when things get messed up. And that really hit me, and I really had to sit and think, I do not want to operate from a place of stress or from a place of worry. I want to operate from a place of clarity. I want to operate from a place of faith. I want to operate from a place knowing that whatever move I make is going to work out one way or the other, even if it doesn't work out the way that I thought it was going to. And I want to be able to use that fear that's there as fuel. Using the fear as fuel. That's what I want to be able to do, and that's the thing I want to encourage you guys to do as well. Use whatever fear you have that may come up in your life, and I'm talking to myself as well, as the fuel to just keep on pushing you, keep on pushing you. Don't let it be in control. Don't let it, you know, direct any of your decisions, but just acknowledge that it's there and then use it to keep pushing you forward. Whenever I have shows and whenever I have to get up to sing, there's always that little bit of nervousness, no matter how many times you've done it, no matter how many times you've sung the song, no matter who you're performing for. But I've learned to use that little bit of anxiousness to really get me over that hump. And there was a time where I didn't have the anxiousness and I thought, I'm too comfortable. So that anxiousness and that sense of being a little bit scared is okay, because if you don't have it and you're jumping into something new, that means you're too comfortable. That means you're not going big enough. That means what you're trying to do is too mediocre, and you need to push yourself a little more, and that's what I'm learning. This is a really uncertain time of my life, but I'm excited. And even though things kind of, I mean, I'll say fell apart in a sense, but from my own humanistic eyes, but from my point of faith and my spirituality and my belief in God, nothing has fallen apart. Things are just in the process of being put together. But you know, it's a real uncertain time in my own eyes, and I'm just settling into that, and I'm using that and allowing that to move me and push me forward. I went to a jiu-jitsu class yesterday, a women's self-defense class, and the gentleman who was teaching, he was talking about how practicing jiu-jitsu has really changed his life altogether, and on and off the mat. And he just talked about people who practice jiu-jitsu have this sense of just kind of going with the flow of whatever happens. And he was relating it to us in the sense that it was a self-defense class, so he was relating it to us in the sense that if someone comes up behind you and attacks you, you can either fight it and get into a punching match, and if you're a woman going against a man, you're more than likely gonna lose unless you have a certain set of skills, or you can wait for that person to tire out, accept the fact that they've maybe got you pinned down, and then the minute you see an opening, go for it and get out of there as fast as you can. And he said, you know, it's about accepting where you're at and then finding a way, moving when you can, not necessarily when you want to. He said, because if you always move when you want to, you're gonna get tired out, and then you're not going to be able to get away. And this is about your survival. And I really just took that and put it for my life right now. It's about my survival and knowing that I'm not going to fight where I am right now, where God has me right now. I'm going to accept it, and I'm going to do everything I can to move when I can. Not necessarily, I would love to just move right now and, you know, do certain things, but that would be hasty, and that would be moving from a place of anxiety and from a place of stress and worry. I want to really assess the situation. I know I've made this jump. I know I've stepped out on faith, and now I'm waiting for God to tell me my next move. And in the meantime, I am absolutely assessing every single thing that's going on around me. So I was really able to take what he taught, and like he said, it's changed his life on and off the mat, and I was able to take what he taught us on the mat and apply it to my life. By accepting where you are doesn't mean that you are complacent. It just means that you accept where God has you. You accept what the universe is doing on your behalf. And in accepting that, you're able to think from a place of clarity. You're able to really assess what the next person's move is going to be so that your next move can be your best move. So, like I said, I just encourage you guys to use whatever fear may be popping up in your life as fuel and really allow it to push you forward. Continue trusting that everything that's working out is working out for your good. And like I said, things aren't falling apart. They're just being put together. So, yeah, just keep on pushing, keep on moving, and we got this thing.